evening, everybody. Welcome to Three Borders Sports Network, and we have the Giants Coaches Show tonight, and it's powered by Red River Communications. Welcome, everybody, once again to Three Borders Sports Network. I'm Joe Schreiner, joined by my technical person here and producing the show tonight, Brian Watson. B-Dub.
I think I'm producing the show. I mean, it sounds like I am. We got a picture here, and I think we're going to be good.
And you're pushing the right buttons.
I think I'm pushing the right buttons, so we'll see what happens here. So.
All right, so we're in our second show of season number 2, correct?
We are in our season number 2. This is episode 10. Actually, we're kind of continuing on, so rolling right along. They keep piling on.
Yeah, they do, don't they? All right, we've got head coach Jeff Ralph here joining us with the Huskies tonight. We'll get to Jeff in just a second. We've also got head coach of the BW Blades boys hockey team, Adam Wertzema, coming in here right after Jeff, and then after that we've got Austin Emdeck of the Cowgirls basketball team. And then BW Storm girls hockey, Mackenzie Brodlin will be back again to visit with us. We didn't scare her off.
I don't think we did. I ran into her at another coach show, so I think she's going to come back.
Okay.
So.
All right, and then 8 o'clock, we might have Coach Brandt in. He's pushed for time this evening, but maybe Coach Brandt will be here for the BW Storm wrestling squad. And then we've got Coach Watson and the Lady Huskies coming up toward the tail end, and then we'll wrap it up after that. So that's our show for tonight. Coach Brandt is a maybe. I think he's going to be here. If not, he was going to try and send Coach Earlson. So we'll have one or the other on probably around the 8 o'clock hour. So we're joined now by head coach of the Huskies basketball team. That's Jeff Ralph. Jeff, welcome once again, and thanks for coming in.
You bet. Thanks for having me.
On a cooler evening here in Wahpeton, North Dakota.
Kind of feels like winter out there. Looks like winter when you're coming. Looks like Christmas.
Dakota Avenue
Driving
looks
down
nice,
the street.
doesn't it?
Looks
and
awesome.
then, they've got the lights up there. If you haven't been down to see Dakota Avenue, they got the lights up. During the day here, they're playing music out there, so it's a lot of Christmassy kind of stuff going on downtown. If you haven't been here, make sure you get down here for that. So, all right, Jeff, season has begun for the 21-22 season. You had your first game last night at home, and you took on the Cheyenne Mustangs from West Fargo. And last week we talked about you thought that Cheyenne was going to be a tough team for the EDC, one of the top teams in the EDC, and they ended up showing it up there. But let's go back early in the first half, and we kind of talked about it here before you got here, before we went on air, Jeff. We talked about how close it was in the first half. I mean, you were right there with those guys.
You know, it really was. We ended up losing by 41 points, but just a couple things go our way to end that first half. It's a ball game. The whole complexion of the game is different. We built this, 17-3, 17-13, 17-11 lead, whatever, in the first half when they were playing man-to-man, and they were having a hard time stopping us. Mm-hmm. And then they went to the zone, and we missed some shots, made a few turnovers, but even with all that said, we were still right in the ball game.
Right.
And I thought, throughout some stretches where we just didn't score for such long stretches, but they weren't scoring either.
Right.
There was just times where nobody was scoring, and they were getting a few opportunities extra, with the offensive rebounding, but we just didn't in that final minute and a half of the first half. It kind of got away from us there. We played a little fast, but we had, the flip side of that is we had great shots too.
Yeah.
We had a layup in there. We had a wide open look at a three in there. We actually had a decent look at a three at the buzzer. We just don't get those to fall down. But we get to a minute 23, and Blake hits a three. Blake hits a three to cut it to 31-23.
Yep. And
then they miss. So now we have the ball down 8. With about a minute and 10 or whatever to go, and then the snowball came.
Oh,
we just couldn't stop them, and we couldn't stop either turning it over or a quick shot and miss. And we had 8 possessions in the last minute 23, and if we manage those possessions a little bit, we had a couple turnovers which really killed us. But if we manage those possessions, it can get into half down 8 or 9 or 7. It's a different.
Yep.
It's a different ball game. There's a different feel to it, and even with that being said, we were down 15. I just felt like we had, throughout the turnovers were bad, but throughout, but we had the shots we wanted. We had some really good looks that we just didn't score. So I was really pleased with that in the first half. We got to the second half. It got away from us.
Let's stay in the first half for a few minutes here, Jeff. Again, you mentioned the first half, how close it actually was. Deceiving as it is, but it was very close in the first half and an exciting game. But one of the thoughts I wanted to bring out here, the defense actually held one of their top players, Niall. I think I had him down for 5 points in the first half, and I was actually happy with that result. So, I mean, when you can hold that kid to 5 points in the first half,
yep.
I thought we were sitting pretty good.
And we were really concerned about him because when we watched him on film, when they played man-to-man Saturday, every time he touched it, he shot it. And he makes a lot of them. I think he had 26 or whatever against man-to-man. And we knew that if he scored 26, we're going to be in trouble. And I thought we did a great job. We doubled him on out of bounds. He never passed it once against man-to-man. They threw it into him out of bounds, stuck out his arm, caught it, and either scored on the guy or backed him down and scored. He's a fantastic basketball player.
He is.
But we weren't going to let him do that, and we doubled him with Blake, and gave up a perimeter shot. But for the most part, that didn't hurt us. It was just a matter of doing a job on really probably one of the best players in the East. And you saw in the second half what he did. He had a couple threes late, and he's really a good player. And we, thankfully, we don't have to play them for a while now. We can focus on
the second half of the season anyway.
But that also in that game, we were playing basically 9 guys, and they were rolling 5 at a time. And I didn't really see any drop off with the 5 guys they were bringing in.
Yeah, it was crazy. They were 5 and 5.
Yeah, I mean that's one of those things. They have the luxury of that. But again, with all that being said, there was a point in that game where if we knocked down a shot, and we did. We had I think 3 or 4 different guys make a 3 in the first half, which is big for us. We had Ethan inside a little bit. He got a couple buckets in that first half, and but I thought the boys did what we had to do in the first half to have a chance to win the ball game, and that's all we can ask. I mean, we're going to have some growing pains. That second half was it was rough for us. The pressure bothered us. The zone bothered us. The half-court zone pressure bothered us. But that's something we just haven't seen at this level. They've seen it in JV, they've seen it in C squad, but at this level, when that guy on the other side is playing to stay in the game, I mean, it's a different level of basketball, and we didn't handle it great, but I think we will. As we progress through this, I think we will. I think we saw a lot of plays offensively, but we weren't in position maybe to make those. So, those are things that are going to come. I practiced tonight. One of the things we just talked about was just being more intentional with what we're doing. Not going through the motions in a shooting drill and just shooting, like Fayed shooting. Yeah. And I think we saw an improvement in that tonight, and that's something we're going to continue on because we didn't shoot it good enough. We were 18 of 62 for 29%, and you shoot 29%, you're going to have to really, really, really play good defense. And our defense, I thought, was okay, especially in the first half, but you're not going to beat anybody shooting it like that. So that's something we have to improve, and we will. I feel like Caden Hockert's one of the better shooters that we've had. I like how Blake plays. A couple nice finishes in the lane for Blake last night. And you know what? Blake's 6'1" in the roster. He ain't 6'1". But you know what? To go in there and finish against their players in the lane, I mean, nice job by Blake. Blake led us last night with 13 points. He had 1 assist, 2 steals, and 5 rebounds, 2 or 2 from the free throw line. Really a nice ball game for Blake, and kind of what we expect from Blake. Caden Hockert had 12 last night. He had 10 rebounds. I mean, how about a guard getting double-digit rebounds?
Yep, that's crazy.
And we need that from Caden. Had 1 assist, 2 steals.
Reminds you of Dez.
It kind of does, doesn't it? I mean, that's what we got from him.
Yep.
But then those are only 2 guys in double figures. We drop off. Ethan was 6 points and 7 rebounds. Jackson Cluton had 4 points and 3 rebounds. Caden Kappas had 3 points, had 5 rebounds, 1 assist. Jaden King had 3. Jacob Burnt hit a 3, and Jacob DeVries with 2. So, we just didn't get enough production out of those other spots. Yeah. But, I think too with Jacob DeVries, he's a rebounder and a defender. That's kind of his job. Jacob Burnt came in and, we moved Caden Kappas off of Nile. Jacob Burnt came in and worked his butt off, but Nile kind of, took advantage of him a little bit and got a couple fouls, and Jacob fouled out. But, I like the effort. We know what we're going to get out of Jacob. And some of these other guys, I think, they're just going to grow into that too. And we'll get better as the season progresses.
Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised there by the energy that Jacob Burnt brought in. And we've seen that in the past from him too as well. And then the other thing that you mentioned here in just this last conversation, you mentioned that you had Caden Kappas on Nile, and again, it's a 6'1", if he's 6'1", going up against that 6'8" Nile. So the guys did a pretty good job.
Yeah,
Really.
and looking back, is that a mistake? I mean, we're burning out our point guard guarding that guy, but then how do we rotate? Who do we move to guard somebody else? You take Caden and put on him a 6'6" post guy. Well, that's not going to work either. So, in retrospect, we maybe could have rotated some guys around, but like you said in the first half, we did a pretty good job on the guy.
There. Yeah.
To have him at 5, but we're going to have some growing pains with this crew just because there's not a lot of varsity experience, and we're going to have to find some scoring. And I think Caden Hockert's really looking forward to that opportunity. And Blake's going to get his shots. He's a good player and get in the lane. And it's a matter of getting Ethan Mannock involved a little more, being a little more aggressive with the basketball in his hands. And I think that's just going to come. And I think maybe we also got to look at you've got to give Cheyenne some credit. They came in here.
Absolutely.
And their man defense, they weren't playing like they should. They went to that zone where they could trap more and maybe gamble a little more. And credit to them for doing that to us.
Yeah. What did you learn about the guys last night that you didn't see in practice coming into it? Did you see anything last night that said, "Oh my gosh, that's pretty good," or "Oh my gosh, we got to work on this"? What did you see versus practice here now coming into it? I know you had a scrimmage against Oak Grove, but
I think what we saw was some jitters last night. Some guys, their feet going before they're going, and some goofy things like that. But I think we're pretty spot on with where we thought the guys were going to be. We thought Blake and Caden were going to get a vast majority of the shots, and they did. I think we were pleasantly surprised with how Jackson Cluton scored the basketball a couple times. That needs to continue. We need to have more than 4 points out of him. We need to have more than 6 out of Ethan. But we're, like I said, it's a work in progress and a different animal. With West Fargo Cheyenne, same thing with Davies on Friday. I mean, they're going to throw 6'8" guys out there, and they're going to have 6'1" on the perimeter, and some kids that can play. So a rough stretch for us maybe to start, but I think after that we can kind of settle in and move on. But we're going to compete, and that's one thing I was worried about is how are we going to react? How do we respond? And I thought the kids competed all night. We never backed down.
Never gave up.
And that was definitely a bright spot.
And you mentioned the rest of the gauntlet here. You're starting out with Cheyenne. Now you got Davies on Friday, up at Davies, and again, it's going to be another tough matchup. But I think you're looking forward to it.
I think they're better than Cheyenne because I think they can lock down in man, and they will, and that I think that's maybe to our advantage. They're going to play man to man a little more maybe, but it's a good challenge. And I told the boys before we started last night. There's not one person in here except us thinks we're going to win tonight. So, let's do that. And the same thing on Friday night up at Davies. We expect to win. We're going in that game with a plan, but nobody else does. So why not upset them?
Yep.
Why not do that? Why not be the team to do that? And I think we saw that early in the game last night that we are capable of that. But we got to be able to sustain that, and that's a piece when you're inexperienced. That just comes later in the year.
Yep. All right, Coach. You got any questions there for Coach Beat-Up?
No, I think I got my answer. But did you get out of last night what you wanted to get out of it? I mean, the schedulers weren't very nice to us to start the season. So we knew what we had going into it, but did you get out of the game what you wanted to and something that you're going to be able to move forward here now, game 2 against Davies?
I think the zone is an issue for us. I do, and I think they exposed that. But I think the guys also saw, and they'll see on film when they watch that, there's the pieces that we've talked about are there. It's a matter of executing it. So we have some strides to make, but I like where we're at. I think we'll shoot it better as we continue, and I think the kids they'll just catch on to more of those things we're talking about. Maybe they don't. Do they believe everything I say in practice sometimes? You're going to see this on Friday night. Yeah, right. And then, those things come. So.
You say that too?
Yeah, I do. So these kids, I rode them pretty hard tonight at practice. I really did, because I felt like we were letting some stuff go, and they responded. I don't see any heads hanging.
Yeah.
I don't see anybody pouting. They're willing to work, and tomorrow night we're going to come right back and do it again, and we'll be ready for Davies. And I think the kids are excited to go up there and play.
Any surprise victories in the EDC for you last night?
I was really surprised at how Davies beat Shanley. Yeah. Devils Lake and Valley.
That was an overtime.
That was an overtime game. I thought maybe Devils Lake would get that one. Central and South was not a bad game.
Yeah, it was a good game.
I think Central's going to be better than we thought with this sophomore kid who was a pretty dynamic player last year, and now he's a varsity player. Led him in scoring both games. So, I expected Davies to beat Shanley, but not necessarily like that. So,
Okay.
We'll see. I think the league's going to shake out, be pretty solid again. West Fargo over Moorhead by a couple points, but 51 to 49. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
So that's a slobber knocker that West Fargo just loves.
Yeah.
So
That's their kind of basketball.
yeah, it's going to be a battle night in, night out.
All right, you're heading up to Davies on Friday night. Coach, you got anything else for Coach?
No, I'm good.
Coach, anything else?
Nope.
All
Thanks
right.
for having me on.
All right, we appreciate you coming in. We're not here next week here for Brian and I got park board duties next week, so
Okay.
we're off next week here on the Coach's Show. But we'll have plenty of basketball here coming up here shortly. So, Coach, good luck Friday night to you and the boys.
Thanks.
And we'll be right back, folks, right here on Three Borders Sports Network on the Giants Coaches Show with Adam Wertzema. He's the head coach of the BW Blades boys hockey team, coming up next.
Since 1996, Giants have been a go-to snack for quality. Giants works directly with farmers to ensure you're receiving the best Giant seeds in every bag. From planting to harvest, they ensure the quality and attention sunflowers deserve to deliver the best taste possible. Giants cashews and pistachios continue our tradition of making the finest nut available. They're a fan favorite. Whether you're in the mood for dill pickle, sour cream and onion, or bacon ranch, we have the flavors to satisfy your cravings. Giant Snacks, where quality still matters. That's the Giants difference.
It feels like you're at a bigger university. Right now I won't have any debt, and I might even gain a little extra money through scholarships. There's so many job opportunities. My name is Emily, and I'm here for my future.
I found out way more than just like sports. I met a lot of people just on my floor, and then different activities you could go to that were on campus. For sure, I look back at all the memories and love it. My name is Grace, and I'm here for my future.
OSPTI has been the therapy clinic of choice for over 15 years here in the southern Red River Valley. At OSPTI, they strive to have the most up-to-date treatment options available with their hands-on method to decrease your symptoms and ensure quality care. Their motto at OSPTI, we strive to meet your goals. Locally owned on 5th Street North in Breckenridge. OSPTI. No matter what time of year, a farmer's relationship with Red River Grain never changes. Red River Grain works shoulder to shoulder with area farmers, drying, cleaning, and marketing your grain to attain the highest possible profit for you. Red River Grain has been saving farmers more money for years, rewarding them with reasonable prices on purchases and fair deals when they sell. Talk to Kelly or Tom about the many services they offer. Red River Grain in Breckenridge. Call 643-3738.
that we serve nearly 1,500 square miles across North Dakota and Minnesota? Or that we've been around for over 60 years? How about that we've got 3,000 miles of fiber optics powering one of the best networks in the region? The best part? We're a cooperative. That means we're continually reinvesting in our communities to make them better than ever. We are Red River Communications. We've been recognized as a leader for helping our communities be great places to live and work. To find out how we're helping connect our communities, visit redrivercom.com/connecting.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Giants Coaches Show, powered by Red River Communications here on Red River Communications Channel 125.
You almost forgot there for a second.
I was going to say originally that we were on a different channel.
Yeah.
But now we have our own channel on Red River Communications.
That was pretty good recovery there.
Thank you very much.
That was good.
That's what 2 years of doing this will do. So yeah, we're on Red River Communications Channel 125 here in the Red River Communications studio here, and Brian and I are working on a different area, and we will hopefully have that by the first of the year. I know we said we were trying.
We got some work to do then if we're getting in there by first of the year.
And I know you got a busy schedule, so I'll try to get it done.
It'll be nice if we can get in there by the new year.
Yeah, so we'll have some things going on. But speaking of new things and the new people on the show,
Yeah, right.
We're joined now by head coach of the BW Blades, Adam Wertsema. Adam, welcome.
Joe, Brian, it's nice to meet you guys.
Nice to have you here.
Nice to have you. And
Thanks for having me on.
yeah, no problem. We couldn't get you on last week. You had other commitments, but you said you'd make the commitment to come in this week, and by golly, here you are.
Made it. Here
All
I
right,
am.
thank you. And a little bit of sidebar note there. Adam knows my youngest son, Evan, and both Huskies.
I'm actually from the Breck side.
Are you?
Yep.
I didn't realize that.
It's combo.
I should have known that.
Yeah, it's combo. We can call it good.
But that was already, let's see, I'm 30 now, so that was already 12 years ago. It's crazy to think. My high school days.
Yeah, don't even go there. I got my 45th reunion this summer. 45th class reunion, so that's how old I am. But anyway, it's not about me, it's about you, Adam, and the BW Blades hockey team. And then welcome aboard. It's your first year, correct?
Yep, I was hired in August.
You were hired in August, and you were assistant for a few years too, correct?
Last year was my first year. I kind of got the itch to maybe get back into coaching, and I reached out to Evan, and he was kind enough to say, hey, we'll bring you on, and I came on last year, and it was good to get back into the program.
Yeah, and you played hockey for the Blades yourself?
Yep, I played from 5th grade on.
5th grade on, so you've been on skates a long time.
Yeah.
And then after high school, did you play any hockey anywhere else?
Yep, I played 2 years of junior hockey, and that took me from anywhere in the cities up to Canada and kind of around this area. And then I played 4 years at Concordia College. And then after my college years, I signed a pro contract, and then I was with the team for about a month before I was released.
Talk about that a little bit there. Tell the folks about that. Signed the pro contract
so
with.
my senior year at Concordia, I kind of decided I wanted to maybe try and play a little bit.
Yep.
Keep my career going as long as I could, and I signed with the Colorado Eagles in the East Coast Hockey League.
Okay.
And that would be 2 steps below the NHL.
Okay.
So it's kind of a tough climb, but you're still playing hockey.
Like a minor league.
Right, exactly, and you kind of pay your dues and hopefully maybe get an opportunity. And so I tried out there and was there for probably about a month or so before I got released, but I got my taste of it, and I enjoyed it. It was fun.
Yeah.
It was a good team. They're now actually in the AHL now. They moved up a league, so they're a league right below the NHL. So, but they were affiliated with the Colorado Avalanche, and it's kind of cool.
Very cool. So it was an experience that you can always remember, and you'll be able to someday be able to share with kids and grandkids and everything.
For sure. I can say I gave everything and took everything I could from the game of hockey and exploited
Okay,
everything.
before we get into the hockey and what you're doing with the Blades and how the boys are doing, what do you do for a real job?
My real job is I'm farming in Breck-Wap here.
Okay.
I farm in the Breck area with my dad and my brother.
And your dad is?
Larry Wertsema.
Larry, okay. All right. Well, again, welcome to the Three Border Sports Giants Coaches Show. Appreciate you coming in.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right, let's talk hockey a little bit here. And again, your first year here as the BW Blades head coach. And you've got a few games under your belt already. Last year, I remember the Blades were young. They had a senior in the goalie. But I think you didn't bring a lot of seniors back again this year, did you?
No, we only have 3 seniors this year. We have Nick Zock, John Eaton, and then Noah Fife.
Okay.
Noah's a goaltender. John's our captain. He's a defenseman. And then Nick Zock is a forward. And they're a good group of guys. they come to the rink, they work hard, they make sure things are done right around the rink and in the locker room, and I really appreciate what they do for the team.
Good leadership is what
Yep,
you need.
for sure. Especially being a first-year coach, that's what you need.
Yeah.
And to have those guys, they have my back, and they are working hard for me.
All right. And then as far as underclassmen, how many have you got? What's your numbers look like?
We got
Off the top of your head?
eight juniors, and then I think we got a smaller sophomore class, and then we have two freshmen and one 8th grader.
Okay. And then are you playing a JV schedule at all this
We
year?
aren't this year. We don't have the
Just
numbers.
Not enough numbers.
No, and then we actually brought back our Bantam program,
Oh, okay.
so that's right below the
That's
JV.
all right.
No, that's all right. There's it's a big jump to go from Pee Wees to JV or to go from Bantams to varsity. So,
Right.
but looking at the program as a whole, from about Pee Wee down, we do have good numbers. So that's something to look forward to.
That's good. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the games a little bit here. I think you had Bagley-Foston on the schedule first, and that was a loss, 8-2. Just what do you recall from that game there? I know it was a few weeks ago, but
Okay, so
some general thoughts.
I want to say 2 years ago, Jared old transferred here, and he was the senior goalie last year who we
Yep.
lost. He was now playing at Crookston, actually.
Yes, that's right.
For the
Yeah.
what are they, Golden Eagles, I think.
The Golden Eagles, yeah.
Yeah, so he's a Golden Eagle now, and he was a big loss for us. So you have him taking up most of the starting role for the past couple of years. So we have two goalies who really haven't had much of an opportunity to start or
Yep.
get much playing time. And so I started the senior Noah Fife, and that was his first game starting. I think probably 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
And he played very well for us, which I was very happy. But as a group, we're a little bit behind the curve here. We got some work to do, and we just got to put our head down and come to the rink every day and be ready to improve. So that game, it was fun. Josh Hoffman, 8th grader,
Yep.
scored his first varsity goal.
I saw that on Facebook.
Yeah.
His mom put that on Facebook.
He scored a power play goal. It was a great goal. He just went to the net, and when you go to the net, the puck can just find your stick, and good things happen. And that's kind of what he did, and that's a good trait to have. You know, there's a lot of guys who in their careers who aren't maybe good skaters or have that much skill, but if you go to the front of the net, it goes off your leg, it counts, and goes in the net. So, and then it got away from us a little bit there, but there was no give up. And I was happy with our first outing.
That's one thing, Brian and I. That's one thing that you and I noticed last year when we did the Blades hockey games. There were some tough games for the boys, but they never gave up. They were there fighting the whole time.
Yeah,
and I
well-
shouldn't say fighting in a hockey game, but they were there competing.
No, but they competed the entire game. So I mean, that's kind of what you have to do. I mean, it doesn't matter who you're skating against or whatever. You just have to go out there and play the game from start to finish. And as coaches, that's what we appreciate the most. That players are going to go out there and give their all.
Yep. Okay, so then you went on. You took on Wilmer, and then last night you took on Mayville Portland. Both losses for the teams, but again, it's a learning curve for you, a learning curve for the boys, and just hopefully working your way up. So you want to talk about those two games a little bit there? Just briefly?
Wilmer was kind of a slow start for us. I felt like maybe we had a little bit of bus legs. I like to bring that. I mean, everyone has to ride the bus at some point, so it shouldn't have to affect you. But like we're a younger team, I'd say, and a little inexperienced. So it took us a little bit to get going on that game. And by our third period was the best period. I think if we could have started out in the first period the way we played in the third, it probably would have been a closer margin for sure. Mm-hmm. But we had a lot of opportunity. I think we had 3 breakaways that we weren't able to score on. So you throw, you score a goal like that, and that changes momentum. You don't know where the game goes from there. And it's just, and we're a team that we need those bounces if we're gonna get something positive going through the game. And then last night was a little bit of a slow start too, but Noah played well, and Andrew actually played very well in Wilmer. Losing 13-0, it's tough on a goalie. But he was right after the puck grabbed it out of the net, he was ready to go. And for the guys that are coming back to practice, I can't ask any more for them. It's kind of a deal where it takes development from a younger age and having that steady linear development up to get there, and we're a little bit behind the curve on that in this community, but we're gonna work to get it there. So.
Good. That's awesome. All right, and then next week, now I think you've got a game. I've got it written down here. The 14th, you take on Park Rapids.
Yep. Park Rapids was our only
You're
win.
there.
We're gonna be going up there. So Park Rapids was our only win last year. We beat them in overtime. It's the only win I've been here for, I think.
Yeah.
So that'll be a good game, I think. The guys will be excited. It'll be fun to go up there and see what we can do.
All right, there you go. And then, are you busy during the holiday season there around Christmas, New Year's?
Yeah,
You
we
got some
have
practices, I suppose. But
I think we have a JV game on the 20th, and then a game the 21st, and then we have Christmas. Then we have games the 28th and 29th. So
okay.
we got 2 games kind of sandwiched on both sides of the holiday break.
I know we've got you on the schedule here, but I don't recall where they are. But we've got 3 boys games scheduled
Okay.
in the hockey season. So,
Excellent.
We'll be covering those and taking care of the Blades hockey. Coach, you got anything else for Coach?
Anything surprise you in your first year of coaching yet?
Let's see.
Tough question for the
there's a lot of things behind the scenes besides just the game that you got to realize. I mean, I had a coaching course I had to do. I was, about a half day, and then there's just a lot of administrative things that I've gotten used to. How to buy stuff, how to do it the right way, and not get in trouble with the school, and just do things the right way. So that's
how's that go, B-Dub?
That's the stuff they don't tell you. They say, hey, come be a coach, you'll like it. And then it's like, hey, by the way, you got to do this, and then you got to do this. And then you're like, what do you mean I can't do that? So, yeah. No, it's good.
All right, Adam, you got anything else?
No, I'm excited for the season, and I hope people come out to support us.
Yeah, we sure hope they do too. And over at Stern Arena, and you can go over and catch the BW Blades coming up here and just take a look at their schedule. I think you got your own website here where the boys and the girls are on the website, so make sure you check that out too as well. And keep an eye on our schedule. We'll have the BW Blades hockey boys on there at least 3 times here this winter coming up. So for Adam Wortsma, thanks again for coming in. We'll see you maybe after the first of the year, because I don't know if we're having a show on the 22nd yet.
Okay.
Or not, but
Awesome. Thanks for having me on.
thanks, Adam. Appreciate you coming in.
Be looking forward to come back.
All right, Adam Wortsma, head coach of the BW Blades. And coming up on deck, we got Austin Emdeck, Cowgirls basketball coach, coming up next right here on Three Borders Sports Network.
Around here, every town is a sports town. And why not? Sports were important to us growing up, and we want the same for our kids. To get involved, because that's how kids learn to lead. And why Farmers Union Insurance supports these programs. Farmers Union Insurance. They don't just protect our community, they invest in it.
That we serve nearly 1,500 square miles across North Dakota and Minnesota, or that we've been around for over 60 years? How about that we've got 3,000 miles of fiber optics powering one of the best networks in the region? The best part? We're a cooperative. That means we're continually reinvesting in our communities to make them better than ever. We are Red River Communications. We've been recognized as a leader for helping our communities be great places to live and work. To find out how we're helping connect our communities, visit redrivercom.com/.
It feels like you're at a bigger university. Right now I won't have any debt, and I might even gain a little extra money through scholarships. There's so many job opportunities. My name is Emily, and I'm here for my future.
I found out way more than just sports. I met a lot of people just on my floor, and then different activities you could go to that were on campus. For sure, I look back on all the memories and love it. My name is Grace, and I'm here for my future.
OSPTI has been the therapy clinic of choice for over 15 years here in the southern Red River Valley. At OSPTI, they strive to have the most up-to-date treatment options available with their hands-on method to decrease your symptoms and ensure quality care. Their motto at OSPTI, we strive to meet your goals. Locally owned on 5th Street North in Breckenridge. OSPTI. No matter what time of year, a farmer's relationship with Red River Grain never changes. Red River Grain works shoulder to shoulder with area farmers, drying, cleaning, and marketing your grain to attain the highest possible profit for you. Red River Grain has been saving farmers more money for years, rewarding them with reasonable prices on purchases and fair deals when they sell. Talk to Kelly or Tom about the many services they offer. Red River Grain in Breckenridge. Call 643-3738. Since 1996, Giants have been a go-to snack for quality. Giants works directly with farmers to ensure you're receiving the best Giant seeds in every bag. From planting to harvest, they ensure the quality and attention sunflowers deserve to deliver the best taste possible. Giants cashews and pistachios continue our tradition of making the finest nut available. They're a fan favorite. Whether you're in the mood for dill pickle, sour cream and onion, or bacon ranch, we have the flavors to satisfy your cravings. Giant Snacks, where quality still matters. That's the Giants difference.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Giants Coaches Show, powered by Red River Communications. And you can find us also on Red River Communications cable channel 120. 25.
Got it right that time.
How about that?
That's pretty
I
good.
flowed right into it.
Always got to get better with each time you do it. So there you go. Just like basketball. Every game, got to get better. That's good. Good improvement. We'll take it.
All right, thanks, Coach.
All right.
Brian Watson, I'm Joe Schreiner. We're now joined by head coach of the Cowgirls basketball team, none other than Austin Emdeck. Austin, thanks for coming back again.
You bet. Always a pleasure.
All right, thank you, sir, and appreciate you coming in. And okay, nice bounce back wins here for the Cowgirls after that opening loss to Morris. Boy, we had you on the air on Friday night. You took on DGF at home, your first home game of the season, and the Cowgirls had a nice win there, 77-41 against DGF. So just talk about that a little bit and how happy you were with the results of that one and what you saw.
Yeah, the big emphasis there, the 2 days before that, Wednesday, Thursday, was defense. We watched the Morris film, and we were just really disappointed in our defensive effort. We weren't closing out. We weren't chopping our feet. We weren't in defensive stances. We weren't, in help side position like we should be. It was kind of just like oh man, we're actually doing that type of thing as we're watching the film. So that was a big point of emphasis in practice, was just defensively we got to be better. You look at the score, you only gave up 50 points, but we weren't scoring the ball well, and a lot of those 50 points they just didn't really earn it like we'd want them to. So we turned around the defensive effort. I always kind of pride ourselves on being a man-to-man team. Do your job, zone, man up, and be in help side, do the little things that you got to do when you're in man-to-man defense too. But I told the girls, we got to get away from a mentality of, I got help coming, it's okay if I do this or do that or whatever our progressions may be at the time. So it's kind of been, yes, you will have help, but do your job, guard your girl. Have the mentality as if maybe you don't have help, and I got to guard one-on-one. So just a little bit of a mentality shift and getting into the swing of the season helped out, and we bounced back really well. I think I always am a believer in basketball that your defense is going to lead you to offense, and that builds confidence, and I think we saw that. We shot 27% against Morris, and then we shot 40s in the 40s, upper 40s against DGF, and filled it at, what did you say, 77 points, I think it was.
Yeah, I think that's what I
so you got to be happy with that. If you're scoring 77 points, we should be in pretty good position to win most nights. So it kind of came from all angles. I think everybody but Abby Johnson scored in that game, and we talked about that. And the scoring in the box score, to me, is one of the most overrated statistics in the game. Yeah, you got to score to win, but there's so many other things you can do to affect a game when you're not scoring, and Abby did a really good job of that against DGF.
Yes, she did.
A 0 in the column, but you dish out 4, 5, 6 assists, come down with the same amount of rebounds. You force about 3, 4 steals, force some turnovers. She just facilitated our offense really well, and so it was a really good game from Abby and Cameron. We told Cameron, we got to score the ball, and she did that. She had 15 points, and Carsey chipped in another 15 plus. I think she had 15 in the first half. So it was just a really well-rounded scoring effort too, which was great to see early on.
Yeah, that's that's one thing I noticed too as I covered that game on Friday, just how they, away from the ball, did what they needed to do on defense and shut down the DGF offense. They only came with one senior this year, but again, a good job by the Cowgirls. You got some stats you want to go through before we go on to the game last night?
Yeah, I mentioned the three. Abby, Carsey, Cam already, but Addie Twidwell is maybe a name that people aren't necessarily used to seeing in the box score or whatever it may be. Kind of a reserve player last year, and she's in the starting lineup. She had, I would say, probably the best summer out of anybody in the program. She's grown into her body. She seems more confident in her post moves. Defensively, she's always been really, really good defensively, being in right spots. She pulled down 8 rebounds, I believe, in the DGF game, which was a really even rebounding effort too, which is good to see. I think Abby was second or third in the rebound totals. So when your point guard is up there grabbing boards too, it's a really well-rounded effort. So Addie's a scrapper. She's gonna dive on the floor for loose balls. She's grinding in the post, getting position there to rebound. So I'm really happy with what we're seeing out of Addie Twidwell too.
We got to give a shout out to Addie's Aunt Sophie in South Dakota too. Aunt Sophie's a loyal watcher of Three Borders Sports Network and cheering on Addie. And Coach Watson, that's just what you want to hear, another tall girl from Breckenridge
There's got to be something in the water. I don't understand it. I mean, you guys get all the size over there. We get a little bit of quickness, and then everything grows over there. So I don't know what it is, but we got to get some of that on this side of the river.
All right, Coach. Anything else you want to mention there?
Let's move on to the last night's game.
All right, last night's game, 73-35 victory last night against CGB. You went down to CGB and took them on down there, and another convincing win and another good defensive game for the girls.
Yeah, absolutely. At halftime, we went to the locker room at halftime, 45-10.
Wow.
So we really poured it on. We were 45 points and a half. That's
pretty good.
Scoring the ball. We first possession, we win the tip, and we missed a contested layup, but got an offensive rebound, kicked it out for three, knocked it down, and we scored 9 points in 54 seconds before CGB called a timeout, so that he used his first timeout before the first minute of basketball even was played.
Wow.
So that was pretty cool. We missed that layup, and then we hit 3 threes right in a row, boom, 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 all from separate people, one from Kelsey, one from Anna, one from Abby. So that was really cool, and we just kind of kept swinging from there. And after the game, I explained to the girls, this is a definition of, even early on in the season, what we call a trap game. You're looking forward to a big conference rival game Thursday night at your home court, a team that knocked you out of the playoffs last year. But you gotta focus up and play one game at a time and take care of business here. Because they're a scrappy team. They're a scrappy 1A team in Minnesota that's physical, and they're gonna scrap for 36 minutes, and they did. And we responded really well. We were physical, we set the tone early on, and we executed offensively really, really well. That was our one key to the game in the locker room. Let's execute. Let's run our offense. Let's hit our sets. Let's flow into it naturally. And we did. We played really, really well. We shared the ball again. Everybody got a little piece of the pie. So that was great to see. And got down into our bench last night into the second half. Running time right out of the gates. So. All of a sudden, it's like, there's only 9 minutes left in the second half. We got to get kids in and out.
Yeah.
And it was unfortunate. Grace Nicholson kind of tweaked a muscle in her glute in the JV game, so she didn't get an opportunity to get some varsity minutes last night. She was a little banged up, but Sydney Roberts got some minutes, and she played really well, and Grace Miranowski as well. So it was fun to see those kids get out there and excel on the varsity court. Sydney dropped in a bucket, and that was her first varsity points. Grace Nicholson got her first varsity points against DGF, and Sydney got hers last night against CGB. So that's always fun. That's really cool. Yep. But another well-rounded scoring effort again.
Yeah, go ahead.
And last night, let's see here, Kelsey led us with 17 last night, and I believe 15 of those came in the first half again. So she's really came out strong early on in games. And in Morris, you didn't see the score, the point total there because she got in foul trouble early. She got 2 quick ones, and she didn't play much in the first half. Abby did a really good job again facilitating the offense. She had 11 points. Parker had 10. Parker's been a consistent scorer, rebounder, a hustle player for us these first 3 games of the year. And Parker got in foul trouble last night early on. She didn't play much in the second half. She had 5 points in the first half, and I don't know if she hardly played 5 minutes. So she played well. Anna poured in 5. Jonica had 9. Cameron Kaler had 7. Sydney Roberts 2, and Addie Twidwell had 12. So Addie played really well. She got some good bunnies on rim runs, and we were running in transition really well last night. So we got some easy layups in transition, but uncontested layups, I should maybe say, because it never comes easy. They did a good job hitting the wing, getting out in transition, and pushing the ball, getting the ball out of the net. So it was, again, good, well-rounded effort. You give up 10 points and a half. That's phenomenal. And it'll be a little different now when Holly comes to town now tomorrow night. They're going to give us everything they got, as they always do. Coach Gottenberg, he's been doing it for maybe longer than I've been alive, and he is always going to be prepared. Nice. He's been coaching for a long time, and if you followed hoops in Minnesota, Bill Gottenberg. He's a phenomenal human being. He's a great teacher, and he's a great coach. So, always a lot of respect when Holly comes into the gym because they're going to be ready to play.
So that's what you got coming up tomorrow night. We'll have that one right here on Three Borders Sports Network tomorrow night. So we'll be at the game for you if you can't make it. Tell your friends and neighbors that you can catch it there too as well. One name that you didn't mention, Coach, back in the DGF game was Kelsey Sarol. She had a great game and back then. I don't know what she did last night, but I know she had a very good game in the game that I was able to watch.
Oh, I feel bad forgetting about that because that was awesome. She took 4 shots, made 4 shots. And we talked to Kelsey about, hey, your role, you're going to be playing a big role coming off the bench this year. And defensively, that's going to be where we need you, right? I always tell the girls that if you want to play on the varsity court, you got to be able to play defense. And this year I've added, you got to be able to pivot. When I was at the coaches clinic, at the Minnesota coaches clinic this year, Coach Mike Neighbors from Arkansas, I always tell my kids, if you can't pivot, you can't play for me. And that makes so much sense. And I think when you watch like college girls basketball, you see them utilize those pivots and those jab steps to create space. And I think that's one thing that maybe people overlook and don't utilize as much. But Kelsey did a good job with her footwork and taking advantage of the defense when it was there. Again, 4 for 4 shot. She didn't take voluminous shots, but she took the good shots. Yep. And that's what we need. And her defensive effort was there. Had a couple good steals. Jumped to outlet pass and got a breakaway layup. So defense is where we're always looking to improve. We like our offense. We like what we run. We're confident with the shooters and the scorers that we got. We just know we got to play defense. And Kelsey did that really well Friday night, and she continued that Tuesday. I just want to look here because I don't think I had points. I think she had 3 rebounds, and she didn't score Tuesday night. But again, it's another example of a kid affecting a game in a big way. Maybe you're not in the point column, but you're facilitating, you're making that extra pass, you're in the right spots. So she's really been a player. Our juniors have really stepped up nice. Addie Twidwell and Kelsey Sarol, and Abby's been been a main fixture of this. And Grace Marinowski gets some minutes last night too. So that junior class was really looking nice, and looking for Kelsey to keep it rolling. And it's fun when everybody gets to pitch in a little bit. It makes for a happy locker room and good team chemistry, and hopefully we can keep that rolling.
Those players that do those little things, you don't know how valuable they are until they're gone. Absolutely. There's a lot of players that we've had, and you just turn around and you just expect someone to be doing that same thing, and then they're gone, and they're like, oh, man, we really missed that. So, yeah, I mean, those players that just, a big shot here, a big rebound here, a steal there, it's just a big part of the game. You know what you're going to get from those other girls, and then they have those bit players that step in and play that role. They're just huge. They complete the team.
Say that, I instantly think of Cameron Kaler because she's been playing since a freshman for us, and we're always asking, hey, score the ball, Cameron. God, you can shoot the ball. You're strong inside. You got good footwork. We got to have you shoot more. And she's probably laughing at home because she knows this. She's heard this so many times. But in Morris, we kind of it's like, oh man, Cam didn't offensively. She just wasn't there. And then you look at the box score and you go, oh, it's maybe because she had 15 rebounds and she blocked a shot and she had 4 assists. And it's like she does so many things outside of scoring that affect games.
There's more to the game
crazy.
than scoring.
The last 2 years, she's playing 33 to 36 minutes for us on average. She never hardly comes out. So she's just a grinder. So when you talk about that, it's like, yeah, she does more things for us that don't show up in a stat sheet anywhere that any given night. So that is really important to a team. So.
Yep. All right, Coach, you got anything else for Coach?
I'm good.
Coach, you got anything more you want to share?
Nope, just looking forward to seeing you guys tomorrow night. Broadcasting the game, and hopefully we get a bunch of fans out to the gym. Big HOL conference matchup. That should be a really exciting one, too. Really, really good teams going at it. So it should be fun, and I will try not to forget to leave you hanging after the game this time.
Not a problem. That's not a problem. We were sitting there waiting for you, and you were busy down there with family and everything else going on there, and everybody wanted to talk to you after that nice win. So that's all right. Cool.
Yeah, the first win on the home court's always a great one.
Yeah.
So
we'll forgive you. So not to worry there.
Appreciate it.
And maybe, just maybe, a little bit of revenge factor tomorrow night.
We hope so.
All right.
We sure hope so.
All right.
Because I don't know if I mentioned this, because remember, Holly is the team that knocked off the Cowgirls' undefeated season in the regular season. So Holly doesn't have as many volleyball girls that play basketball as much, but there's still some. So the girls didn't not only knock us out of playoffs last year, but they took away their undefeated season this fall.
They did.
So the girls are fired up for this one. I don't need to talk about any energy or effort things. They're ready. They would have played
goosebumps on that one, man.
They would have played tonight if they could have. They're chomping at the bit for this one.
So it'll be a fun game and fun atmosphere. My guess is maybe the pep band will be there tomorrow night.
They will be.
See?
Yep.
How about that? We're going to have pep band tomorrow night.
There you go.
That'll be fun. All right, Austin, thanks again for joining us here tonight. And coming up next here, we've got Mackenzie Broadland, BW Storm girls hockey coach, coming up next. Good luck tomorrow night. We'll see you on Three Board Sports Network.
Thank you, guys.
All right.
Around here, every town is a sports town. And why not? Sports were important to us growing up, and we want the same for our kids. To get involved, because that's how kids learn to lead. And why Farmers Union Insurance supports these programs. Farmers Union Insurance. They don't just protect our community, they invest in it.
Better living begins at home, and Three Rivers Decorating in Wahpeton is your personal designing service. New flooring in your home can totally change its look and feel. Three Rivers Decorating has dozens of vinyl plank designs to choose from, along with carpet, tile, and linoleum. Whether it's updating your home's interior or retail space, Three Rivers Decorating has all of the latest styles and trends. They also offer free estimates. Give them a call today, 701-642-8454.
The Wahpeton Daily News wishes all area sports teams the best of luck this year. The Wahpeton Daily News thanks you for supporting local journalism, including the Daily News and the News Monitor. Keep up with local news, sports stories, and personal interest stories in our papers. Check out www.wahpetondailynews.com for more information about our e-newsletter right at your own computer. The Daily News supports all area sports teams and wishes all of the teams the best of luck this season.
OSPTI has been the therapy clinic of choice for over 15 years here in the southern Red River Valley. At OSPTI, they strive to have the most up-to-date treatment options available with their hands-on method to decrease your symptoms and ensure quality care. Their motto at OSPTI, we strive to meet your goals. Locally owned on 5th Street North in Breckenridge. OSPTI. No matter what time of year, a farmer's relationship with Red River Grain never changes. Red River Grain works shoulder to shoulder with area farmers, drying, cleaning, and marketing your grain to attain the highest possible profit for you. Red River Grain has been saving farmers more money for years, rewarding them with reasonable prices on purchases and fair deals when they sell. Talk to Kelly or Tom about the many services they offer. Red River Grain in Breckenridge. Call 643-3738. Since 1996, Giants have been a go-to snack for quality. Giants works directly with farmers to ensure you're receiving the best Giant seeds in every bag. From planting to harvest, they ensure the quality and attention sunflowers deserve to deliver the best taste possible. Giant's cashews and pistachios continue our tradition of making the finest nut available. They're a fan favorite. Whether you're in the mood for dill pickle, sour cream and onion, or bacon ranch, we have the flavors to satisfy your cravings. Giant Snacks, where quality still matters. That's the Giant's difference.
All right, welcome back to the Giants Coaches Show, powered by Red River Communications. We are on channel 125 on Red River Communications, if you have their cable channel, and hopefully soon here in Wahpeton, Breckenridge. And I know they're working on it hard. They were hoping to have it up here about a month ago, but I talked to Jenna the other day, and she said they're working on it, and it's coming soon to a neighborhood near you.
We like that.
So yeah, we're getting more exposure on all our games. Or not, I shouldn't say all of our games, but a lot of our games are on there. And we also going to have one of the girls' hockey games.
We will have a girls' hockey game, that's right.
So yeah, we're going to do that too. And speaking of girls' hockey, we have head coach of the BW Blades. Girls are also the Blades. We thought they were the Storm. Where did we come up with that?
Well, I mean, all the co-ops were Storm. All the new
Right.
co-ops were Storm. But, I mean, hockey's always been Blades. So, I mean, there's no reason to change it.
All right, Mackenzie Brodlin, welcome again back.
Yes, thanks for having me back.
Yeah, we haven't had any hockey games since we met last Wednesday, and we appreciate you coming back in again tonight. So thanks for joining us. And one thing we didn't do is we talked about off air before you came on. We didn't get a chance to talk about the Morris game that you had last Tuesday.
Yep, that's right.
So that was a nice victory for the girls. Talk about that a little bit, Morris Benson.
Yeah, it was really fun to kind of generate a lot of offense last week. We got to see a lot of puck movement in the offensive zone, and it was really cool to see that we could get 2 assists on just about every goal we had, and then kind of work the positioning around the offensive zone and find the breakdown in their positioning. It was really cool to see that they were finding those open spots and generating that offense together and working as a team to score those points. So.
Okay, so listen to this, B-Dub.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Did anybody have a hat trick? How was that?
I think I'd have to check the stats, but I'm pretty sure Reagan Wohlers had 4 goals.
Nice.
Yeah. Yep. It's pretty cool.
I knew what a hat trick was.
Well, I mean, most people who watch hockey do know that. So even people that don't watch hockey know that. So, but I went to a hockey school, so you know, you probably don't know that.
Sure you did. What did you wear UND tonight?
Nope.
You didn't. Okay.
No.
Not tonight.
All right.
It's all right.
Okay, so let's talk about the game a little bit more. It was a nice victory for the girls. I'm sure it was a happy locker room afterwards.
Yeah.
A happy coach. Your first victory.
Second.
Second victory as a coach. That's right. You won one early in the season.
Yep.
Didn't you? So your second victory. So
yeah.
You felt pretty good.
Yeah, the girls were happy, and it was interesting because they had a senior goalie, and I think she was maybe out with an injury, and their goalie ended up being a 7th grader.
Oh boy.
She was pretty small, but she moved really well with the puck, but there's not a whole lot you can do, and we're kind of breaking them down in the offensive zone, and we got a girl on the back door.
Sure.
So getting those rebounds, but yeah, they just played really well together, and then worked as a team, so it was really cool to see.
Well, congratulations on the win last Tuesday night. Again, we didn't talk too much about it. If we did last week on the coaches show, so thanks for coming back in and talking about that a little bit. All right, let's look forward now to Friday.
Yep.
We got a long bus ride, I think.
Yeah,
on Friday,
yes,
so
absolutely.
all the way down to Worthington.
Yeah, I think it's 4 hours
Yeah,
about,
at least, yeah.
something like that, with a stop in the middle. So, yeah, a big bus ride, and I haven't been able to tell a whole lot about Worthington's season. I know they are coming off of a win earlier this week or last week, so they maybe have some momentum going into that. But I think that was their first win of the season. They had 4 losses before that, I think. So, kind of big gaps in the score. So I don't really know how to gauge that. So we'll kind of see how we match up on Friday, and hopefully we're not too slow getting off the bus. And
Are they a single A or are they?
I believe they're single A.
They're single A as well. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
And boy, it'd sure be nice. What time do you play on Friday?
7.
7. So it's a late night when you get home.
Yep.
So it'd be nice to win that one.
Yeah, it'd be a much happier bus ride home for 4 hours.
All right, so you're a couple weeks into this whole thing now as a first-year head coach. We've asked some of the other coaches, and one of Brian's favorite questions is, what has surprised you about the team? What have you seen about the team that may have surprised you, or one way or the other? Or one thing that you got to work on more?
I think kind of going off of Adam's interview a little bit, just all the administrative duties are kind of a surprise. You're doing a lot of work behind the scenes that people don't see to kind of hold it together.
I'm gonna give you some advice.
Okay.
Get a really good assistant coach that likes to do that
Alicia's
stuff.
been great.
There you go. There you go.
But yeah, it's just a lot of things that you don't really think about when you're not on the coaching staff.
Sure.
So, yeah, getting everyone together for pictures on Monday, figuring out what color jerseys we're wearing, all that kind of stuff. So,
Assistant coach.
yeah, we got a good parent rep too.
There you go. That's another one too.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, so
Yep.
you got Alicia Finkrell as your assistant coach. Give a shout out to your parent rep.
Shout out Jamie Nepple, our parent rep.
I think I know Jamie.
Yes.
A lot of people know Jamie.
Yep.
So shout out to Jamie and, of course, to Alicia. And anybody else you want to shout out to as long as we're on?
Shout out to all the parents, just
Absolutely.
supporting us through the season, and all the fans. It's been really cool to kind of see all these big turnouts at our games. It's been really cool so far. I think I maybe had 2 friends come to my games over the years, but seeing like 40 high school students in the stands was really cool.
Pretty cool. Yeah, you went from am I saying this right? A 19U independent schedule.
Yep.
Last year, and then going to organized high school hockey here this year. So it's it's a good thing for BW Blade girls hockey.
Really awesome for our team and community. So it's been exciting.
Very cool. Coach, you got anything else for?
No, you stole my question, so
I know I did.
It's all right. It's all right.
I'll let you leave that for Coach Earlson. I think he's on deck.
He's done this before. He knows that he needs a good assistant coach. He knows he needs a good parent rep. He knows how to delegate that stuff. Come on now.
All right, Mackenzie, you got anything else you want to add here?
I don't think so.
Have a safe drive down to Worthington.
Thank
and
you.
Good luck to you and the girls, and we'll see you around. And if we don't see you before the holiday season, have a nice holiday season.
Thank you. You too.
All right, Mackenzie Broadland, the head coach of the BW Blades girls hockey team. Coming up next, we got the BW Storm.
There you go.
Coach,
Got it right.
Assistant coach Eric Earlson coming up. right after this.
Around here, every town is a sports town. And why not? Sports were important to us growing up, and we want the same for our kids. To get involved, because that's how kids learn to lead. And why Farmers Union Insurance supports these programs. Farmers Union Insurance. They don't just protect our community, they invest in it.
It feels like you're at a bigger university. Right now I won't have any debt, and I might even gain a little extra money through scholarships. There's so many job opportunities. My name is Emily, and I'm here for my future.
I found out way more than just like sports. I met a lot of people just on my floor, and then different activities you could go to that were on campus. For sure, I look back on all the memories and love it. My name is Grace, and I'm here for my future.
Better living begins at home, and Three Rivers Decorating in Wapaton is your personal designing service. New flooring in your home can totally change its look and feel. Three Rivers Decorating has dozens of vinyl plank designs to choose from, along with carpet, tile, and linoleum. Whether it's updating your home's interior or retail space, Three Rivers Decorating has all of the latest styles and trends. They also offer free estimates. Give them a call today, 701-642-8454.
No matter what time of year, a farmer's relationship with Red River Grain never changes. Red River Grain works shoulder to shoulder with area farmers, drying, cleaning, and marketing your grain to attain the highest possible profit for you. Red River Grain has been saving farmers more money for years, rewarding them with reasonable prices on purchases and fair deals when they sell. Talk to Kelly or Tom about the many services they offer. Red River Grain in Breckenridge. Call 643-3738.
The Wapaton Daily News wishes all area sports teams the best of luck this year. The Wapaton Daily News thanks you for supporting local journalism, including the Daily News and the News Monitor. Keep up with local news, sports stories, and personal interest stories in our papers. Check out www.wapatondailynews.com for more information about our e-newsletter right at your own computer. The Daily News supports all area sports teams and wishes all of the teams the best of luck this season.
OSPTI has been the therapy clinic of choice for over 15 years here in the southern Red River Valley. At OSPTI, they strive to have the most up-to-date treatment options available with their hands-on method to decrease your symptoms and ensure quality care. Their motto at OSPTI, we strive to meet your goals. Locally owned on 5th Street North in Breckenridge. OSPTI.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Three Borders Sports Giants Coaches Show. I'm Joe Schreiner, joined by Brian Watson. We are powered by Red River Communications, Channel 125, if you got Red River Communications cable. And if not, you can always catch us on our YouTube channel. And Brian, if folks want to subscribe to our YouTube channel, tell them how they can do that.
Well, they can just click on the subscribe button as they're watching tonight's program. And then you can also click on the bell icon, and you'll get notifications for whenever our events go live.
And it is at no charge. Best yet, huh?
Right? Free.
Hey, Chad Affield, by the way, before we get to Coach Earlson, Chad Affield sent a text here, and I looked at it during the commercial break, and he said that he's watching and appreciates Three Borders Sports Network and the Coaches Show, and also congratulations on a good game with you and the girls last night. So we'll talk about that.
Yeah, it was a good one last night, that's for sure.
We'll talk about that.
So we appreciate that.
Chad Affield sending a shout out here. All right, joining us now is assistant coach of the BW Storm wrestling team. The singlet is here. We didn't change out the shirts here behind Coach Earlson.
No, it's all right. We got it right front and center there.
Coach Brandt brought that in last week, so we've got the singlet up here. And Coach Earlson, welcome back.
Thank you.
With us last year
a
few times.
Well, I'm kind of did a few times with Coach Hare, and I were co-coaches last year, so I came on a little bit. So.
And Coach Hare is taking on the principal duties over at St. Mary's, and
he's got his
hands full.
Yes, he does. He's been a trooper for many years and went above and beyond what many people would do, and we're really missing him. But you know what, we will go on and go from there. So.
And you've got the wrestling background as yourself, along with your sons that have wrestled for years for the Cowboys, and now you're together as a BW Storm.
And you talk about the wrestling background. you know, we talk about the storm coming together and the coaches and stuff, and because sometimes it comes to me as like how old I am or where I'm at. You know, I was talking to Ryan, and for some reason it didn't dawn on me. It's like, well, how old are you? Yeah, he said, well, I'm like 2 years younger than your boys. It's like, okay, that means I'm thinking, well, how many years have I been coaching before you were born? I was thinking in my head. So, you know, I guess I don't know if we call age with wisdom or not, but hopefully we go from there. But I'm really enjoying coaching, you know, learning a lot of new stuff. Anytime you work with somebody new, you learn a lot of new stuff. So I'm learning a ton working with Ryan and Hunter McCall and Dan Frame and those guys. And then Trayton Hout came over with us too, so as far as the coaches. Right. So Trayton and I kind of help them out and kind of representing the Breckenridge side. Right. And along with Hunter McCall. So
it gives you good familiarity. Gives the boys good familiarity.
Yes.
So they didn't lose everything that they had over in Breckenridge when they came over to this side of the river, and vice versa. And so there's still some familiarity with everybody.
We're trying to blend things, you know. Good. Tom and I coached for so many years. We just kind of knew. He knew me really well, and I knew what he did well. And, you know, it's just really comfortable. You know, we just knew. And so right now we're just kind of, you know, finding each other and what can everybody do for the program and how we can put it together. So we're still developing that.
There's a learning curve in there.
Oh, yes.
All right, Coach. So let's talk a little bit about wrestling. And Coach Brandt couldn't be here with us, so again, we appreciate you joining us here tonight. You had the Unruh tournament.
We did.
Last weekend, last Friday and Saturday. I believe you were over at the Wapaton Middle School and the elementary, and I think you brought some results with you. So
we have some, and then they bring some really nice teams. You know, they bring in Cheyenne, who has some really good wrestlers. Bring in Frazee, and just we bring in Brookings, and we bring in Sisseton. So it's a nice mix of teams from Minnesota. You know, like Class A teams from Minnesota. We have like Cheyenne, like I said, they come down at Class A team from North Dakota, and you get your Brookings, and so it's a nice little tournament getting people in it, and we're hoping to even grow it some more. But we came in and I don't know much about the Wapaton boys, and so I'm just kind of learning as far as where we're at and what we do. And the one thing that impressed me the most, you know, in coming in this tournament and in the first duels is that I think we're really learning how to compete, you know, and it's fun to watch this. And I don't know, to me, the word that we're going to try and look at this year, in my mind, is build some respect. Our first duel with West Fargo, I don't know, I just felt like there was they didn't respect us too much in some ways, you know, because I don't know what the score was the year before, but I think when they wrestled, you know, Wapaton, it was, they took it. It was pretty loud, So, but I felt like our boys are starting to earn respect, and good. That's what they did. They battled hard. And one thing that a good thing is we came out and wrestled really well right away. And that's a good thing. But in a tournament, when you wrestle well right away, you now move the direction where all the good wrestlers are. And so that makes it tougher. You know, you get a big win and maybe over someone you shouldn't beat. And now all of a sudden you're with a whole new group of wrestlers going in the championship division compared to if you lose your first match and you go back and you wrestle in the wrestlebacks, you can maybe get more wins. So it looked like we really did well early. We placed 5th as a team, which out of 11, that's pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah. And we could have done better probably, but we really wrestled well right away. And then we had some tough matches that we lost a few close ones at the end at the end of the tournament. And I know the boys felt bad about it, but they shouldn't, because of they have to realize where they went. They've gone from maybe losing that first match and then maybe winning some matches in the wrestlebacks. Now they've taken a step where they won that first match, and now you're in with the big dogs, And so now they're starting to learn that, hey, we can win that first match, and now we're in with the big dogs, and now we just make that next step, and now we start taking the next step there. But we had a few kids take 6th. And, and what I'm looking at this is the balance of our team right now. We don't have, we do have some pretty good kids, but we're pretty balanced. So in 6th place, we had David Earlson took 6th place. He's an 8th grader at 145, and he's just filling in there now until we have a couple guys drop down. But David, at 145, you're wrestling a lot of juniors and seniors, and so for him to take 6th was, in fact, he upset a senior his first match. So, and that was pretty good. And we had Marty took 6th also. And we had Hunter. Owens took 6th. Bryce took sixth, and Logan took sixth. So
Okay.
we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys. 5 guys take sixth place. So we had a good number there. We had Mr. Coleman Coleman Barth took fourth place. And we had Wyatt Differding took a third.
There you go.
And then we had our guys that were in the championship round. We were hoping for one champion, but they hit some pretty tough kids.
Oh, I bet.
And we had Jackson Burchill, who took second. He hit a pretty tough kid in that finals, and I think somebody said, see, and I don't know much about this, but somebody said he was a state champ in South Dakota.
Oh.
So, I'm not 100% sure on that, but that's what someone said. And so, you're looking at pretty tough competition when you're looking at that. And then Aiden Ruddy had a very close match in his finals. And at the end, he had himself in a situation where he possibly could win, and it was like a coin flip, and it just kind of flipped the wrong way and just missed that last move.
Aiden Ruddy went right from the cross-country team into the wrestling.
He did. Yep.
Good athlete in the cross-country team, and I know you had him last year as a wrestler over in Breckenridge. And coming over to the North Dakota side of the river, I think he's going to shock some people.
Well, like I said, I think they're starting to see a little bit now, some of the teams, and we'll talk about Valley City and Lisbon here in a second, but, we need to, we'll take a look and see about respect and see if we can earn a little bit. And we haven't gotten it yet, but that's our thing, our goal, I think, this year is to get that going.
All right, so the next up then you had the triangular, if you will, or the dual.
Yes.
With, Lisbon and Valley City. So what do you got there for notes on that?
Well, I just got what we went through, and in the first duel we wrestled Valley City.
Okay.
Valley City is ranked.
They're tough.
Yeah, they are tough. They think they're ranked in state, or they're I think they're ranked one of the top in the EDC for sure.
Yep.
And I think they're ranked in state, and I don't know exactly where, but I just kind of talking about our earning respect and battling, and to me, one of the first matches that really set the tone for us in that one. We had Bryce Allwander. He wrestled a kid that's a number one ranked kid in North Dakota from Valley City. This Kyle, it says Coy Griebel, I would say that, from Valley City, number one kid. And then I looked on their list, and it says they got all the kids ranked, but then it has the Super 7, like the 7 kids that are really known, and there is names right there, and wonder the Super 7 of the state. So this is a kid who's top-notch quality kid, and I mean, and Bryce went out there and battled, and to me, he got off his back several times, fought position many times, and they got done with that match, and I could just see in their eyes, it's like, hey, our number one guy didn't pin their guy. He couldn't pin him, and that to me is what we're about. I mean, that's what we have to be about this year, because he just battled. I was just so impressed with that, and that attitude can kind of all filter to all the other kids then. Yep. And it just that was the start. And you can see their bench is kind of like, hey, what's our guy didn't pin him, like he should just go out and pin him, And so that was nice. He battled. It was a tech fall, but he just battled position and wrestled and got off his back many times, but it's just the fight. So we did have another big match. And see, again, I don't know these kids. There's an Alex Rogelstead from Valley City. I guess he's ranked number 4 in the state. And then Weston Jensen went out at 138 and upset him, beat him 6-3. So Weston is, he's got a lot of potential. He's still not. I mean, he's only been wrestling for a few years, I guess. He's not one of these kids that have grown up wrestling forever, the way I understand it. And he's got a lot of growth yet to come yet. So we're hoping to keep that going. So that's where I talk about earning respect. When you go out and take one of their guys, and all of a sudden you upset them. Now, you can see their bench is kind of like, what the heck's going on here? We're not just putting a move on and pinning them. So and to me, it's just that battle going there. So. David went out, and I didn't know this kid, and David didn't know this kid. At 145, and he got beat 10-0, so he gave up, 10 points. And gave up 14 points. Mm-hmm. But then I find out later, and Coach coach comes over to me and says, "You realize that was number 3 guy in state?" And ranked 3 in state, and I was like, no, I didn't realize that. So here again, we talk about this battle. Here you got an 8th grader going out against the number 3 guy in state, and he only gives up 4 points for the team.
Yep.
That's the kind of stuff that I'm really, really happy with. And it's not just, and it's just, like I said, Bryce started it out in that whole attitude of battling. So that's huge for us.
Yep.
Aiden goes out and upsets and gets their guy falling 18 seconds. Hunter Owens, Hunter, he just likes to go out and battle, and he went up against a bigger kid. Hunter wrestled 160 pounds. He's coming down. He'll probably wrestle 145 pounds later. So, that's a lot of muscle you're going up against. And Hunter wanted to do it. He wants to go out and wrestle this kid. And so he goes out for the team and battles with him. And that's going to pay off for him in the long run.
Yeah.
Wanting to take those challenges. So that's good for Hunter. Yep. So, and then Miles Hinckley, he's a 9th grader. He's wrestling 170 pounds, and he only weighs like 160 pounds. So again, we got a young guy, a 9th grader, going up battling these big guys, and he's stepping on the mat and taking it on. So he's got a lot of potential, but we got a little, we're going to have to work hard on that. And then our next win then was Jackson Burchill, and this was a big win for Jackson. This is a kid. He came to me before, and he's like, "What do I do with this and what do I do with that?" And just said, "You just wrestle your style and get out of his stuff." And he goes out and upsets this kid, Jonah. I can't even say that last name, from Valley City. He gets a 3-2 win. And then after I find again, I go and look, and this kid's ranked number 2 in the state.
Wow.
So Jackson's upset a few guys that have been ranked in state now. Yeah. So now he has just to keep grinding and keep getting better, because these guys are going to get better. And he's got to realize, just because you beat him now early in the year doesn't mean it's going to happen at the end of the year. And he's, they're going to catch on to,
he's putting a target on himself.
Yeah, he's putting a target on himself is what he's doing. Yeah. But that's a good thing.
That's
we like that. I mean, Jackson's really earned that. He's worked hard. He's lifted weights. He's gotten stronger, and he's really done a nice job. And then we also got another win then against Valley City by Logan Schwartz at heavyweight. Got a 14-5 win. He went out and used a bear hug a couple times and got it going. The old bear hug for the heavyweights, and he's doing some good things. So he's learning. So
as a team score, how did it end up?
It was 48-22. Okay. And we're giving up 2 weights. Right now we're giving up 106 and 113. Okay. We have a young man, it's Riley Kappas, who will be dropping into one of those weights, either 113 or 106 here. They have a weight plan in North Dakota that I'm not familiar with it, but it's like you can only drop so much weight a day or a week or whatever. And so this weekend, I believe he can wrestle for us. So then it will be down to just 1 weight we can't fill. Okay. So that kind of hurts. That's and if that's 12 points, and so that's a big difference. But I felt like, I talk about the word respect. I felt like we were in some respect there.
Yep. All right. So then you come in to the second match during that one, and you take on another tough team from Lisbon.
Lisbon is always tough.
They're EDC, but they're tough.
Oh gosh, they're Class B, but they are throwers, and they are going after you. And if you're not ready, you don't have your head screwed on, they're going to throw you to your back, and they're going to crank your neck around. And they're tough. They're well coached, and they work hard. Yep. One of the things I saw in their room as I'm walking around, and it's the word perseverance. They had a bunch of sayings around the room, and everywhere I was looking, I kept seeing the word perseverance, and I think about that for our own team. Perseverance in wrestling is, as I think about it, it's like that's a big thing. Getting out there and battling through your times. You have to put your time in and perseverance, and that's kind of what they've been really well known for being good. And, and we got winners there. We had Alex Martel at 132, got a win, 13-9 win over Seamus Kelly from Lisbon. He wrestled a really nice match. Alex has got a lot of potential, and he's coming around. He hasn't wrestled long, and he's starting to feel it. There's something about, you can teach him moves, but when if you're yelling moves out to somebody or whatever, but in wrestling, it's just like the feel. You got to feel when it's there, and he's starting to feel it. So he has a lot of potential, and it was nice to see him wrestle a good match against the Lisbon boy there. Okay. Got Aiden Ruddy. He went out. He got a forfeit. They forfeited him because that's to me is a sign of respect.
Yeah,
when they start to forfeit to you, that's a sign of respect, saying we don't have anybody we want to put on the mat. we're going to forfeit you. So, you know, Aiden is earning that respect you talked about earlier.
Yep.
And then again, Hunter Owens wanted to go up. This is Bowden Greenlee, and that's a well-known name out there. And, you know, you're basically giving up about 20 pounds almost, you know, 15 to 20 pounds, and he wants to take this boy on. And again, that's going to pay off for him. If he keeps working and watches the film and see what he's doing right, and once he gets the weight he wants to be, he's going to, that'll pay off for him, that willing to take those guys on. And then Jackson again wrestled at 220, got a win. He got a fall in 2 minutes and 42 seconds, and those were our wins. So against Lisbon, but again, I want to use the word battle. The rest of the guys battle, and there was matches that you know they thought they maybe had an advantage, and we just held them close. But now we got to take the next step and get just one more step up from that. So I think the 61-15 was the final score there.
Okay, so what's next on the calendar for the Storm Wrestling?
Well, we have the Sartoma in Grand Forks. And it's an overnighter for us. This is kind of new for me, this overnighter stuff. I'm not used to this. I don't know if the old man can handle this, but we'll find out. And so these are some good teams. I'm just looking down the list: Perham, Red River, Jamestown, West Fargo, Cheyenne, Bismarck Century, West Fargo, Greenbush, Badger, Middle. These are teams. Holy moly, we're going to go up some tough teams. So again, we've wrestled West Fargo, and we wrestled Valley City, we wrestled Lisbon. And now we're going into a tournament with all these teams. And so, we just got to go up there and battle some more, and hopefully good things happen. This will be Friday and Saturday.
Friday and Saturday.
Yep.
Overnighter for Eric Earlson.
Yes.
How about that?
So hopefully they can keep the old man going here. We wrestle at 3 o'clock on Friday.
Okay.
If we win, we'll wrestle at 6, I believe, and if we lose, we wrestle again at 7:30 and wrestle back. So, and then we wrestle the next morning, depending on how things go from there.
All right, Coach, you got anything else for Coach Earlson?
No, I think he's been welcomed to the EDC, and I think some of the things that he's saying are things that we try and talk about. That there's a lack of respect sometimes for this area when it comes to sports and EDC, and you have to go out and you have to make them respect you and make them understand that you are going to be there to battle them. They're not just going to be able to come down here and just walk away with a win. They're going to have to fight for it, and I just that's what it has to be, and it's nice to hear that's the mentality. Yeah. So I like it,
and I think we can really compete. We have a. I just could say something about our boys. Is this what I've gotten to know the boys too? I talked about the coaches, but the boys, I'm really happy with how they're responding.
Yeah,
they're really, this summer our parents got together for a picnic as a get together before the year started, and they've been really supportive. The parents are amazing, and it's showing, and it's coming out in the boys too. Their parents are sending meals for the boys every time we go out away because we've taken all these away trips, and it's just been amazing. The parents have been great, and the kids are starting to gel, and they are starting to support each other. And like I said, when we get it all figured out, exactly what everybody's expecting and our culture figured out, we're gonna bring it all together. It's kind of like bringing two families together, you know. It's because wrestling's really a family thing. So
it is, and it's fun to watch. All right, Coach. I think we'll wrap it up there, unless you got something else.
No, I don't. I thank you for having us on. And no problem. It's gonna be a fun year.
All right, good luck this weekend up in Grand Forks. And Coach Eric Earlson, assistant coach for the BW Storm Wrestling Team. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you,
Coach. And we'll see you next time, and happy holidays to you and your family. Merry Christmas.
Thanks.
All right, I'll be back with head coach of the Lady Huskies, Brian Watson, the one and only, coming up right after this.
Since 1996, Giants have been a go-to snack for quality. Giants works directly with farmers to ensure you're receiving the best Giant seeds in every bag. From planting to harvest, they ensure the quality and attention sunflowers deserve to deliver the best taste possible. Giants cashews and pistachios continue our tradition of making the finest nut available. They're a fan favorite. Whether you're in the mood for dill pickle, sour cream and onion, or bacon ranch, we have the flavors to satisfy your cravings. Giant Snacks, where quality still matters. That's the Giants difference.
It feels like you're at a bigger university. Right now I won't have any debt, and I might even gain a little extra money through scholarships. There's so many job opportunities. My name is Emily, and I'm here for my future.
I found out way more than just like sports. I met a lot of people just on my floor, and then different activities you could go to that were on campus. For sure, I look back on all the memories and love it. My name is Grace, and I'm here for my future.
Thrivent and Will Ulick provides clarity for where you are today, confidence for where you go tomorrow. Thrivent combines financial expertise with purpose-based planning to help you with where you are today and where you want to be tomorrow. At Thrivent, Will Ulick can help you address a variety of complex subjects to meet your unique wealth management needs, from retirement planning to investment management and estate planning. Thrivent, what are you invested in? Thrive with purpose. Thrivent and Will Ulick supports all area sports teams and wishes them the best of luck.
Better living begins at home, and Three Rivers Decorating in Wapaton is your personal designing service. New flooring in your home can totally change its look and feel. Three Rivers Decorating has dozens of vinyl plank designs to choose from, along with carpet, tile, and linoleum. Whether it's updating your home's interior or retail space, Three Rivers Decorating has all of the latest styles and trends. They also offer free estimates. Give them a call today, 701-642-8454.
No matter what time of year, a farmer's relationship with Red River Grain never changes. Red River Grain works shoulder to shoulder with area farmers, drying, cleaning, and marketing your grain to attain the highest possible profit for you. Red River Grain has been saving farmers more money for years, rewarding them with reasonable prices on purchases and fair deals when they sell. Talk to Kelly or Tom about the many services they offer. Red River Grain in Breckenridge. Call 643-3738.
The Wapaton Daily News wishes all area sports teams the best of luck this year. The Wapaton Daily News thanks you for supporting local journalism, including the Daily News and the News Monitor. Keep up with local news, sports stories, and personal interest stories in our papers. Check out www.wapatondailynews.com for more information about our e-newsletter right at your own computer. The Daily News supports all area sports teams and wishes all of the teams the best of luck this season.
OSPTI has been the therapy clinic of choice for over 15 years here in the southern Red River Valley. At OSPTI, they strive to have the most up-to-date treatment options available with their hands-on method to decrease your symptoms and ensure quality care. Their motto at OSPTI, we strive to meet your goals. Locally owned on 5th Street North in Breckenridge. OSPTI.
Did you know that we serve nearly 1,500 square miles across North Dakota and Minnesota? Or that we've been around for over 60 years? How about that we've got 3,000 miles of fiber optics powering one of the best networks in the region? The best part? We're a cooperative. That means we're continually reinvesting in our communities to make them better than ever. We are Red River Communications. We've been recognized as a leader for helping our communities be great places to live and work. To find out how we're helping connect our communities, visit redrivercom.com/connecting.
Welcome back to the Giants Coaches Show here on Three Borders Sports Network. I'm Joe Schreiner, joined by Brian Watson, and right now Brian is going to play producer and head coach all at the same time. Look at you go, man.
I'm trying. I don't know. I got my headset's half on. I can barely hear you. I don't know. We'll see. We'll make it work.
All right. So Brian Watson, head coach of the Lady Huskies here from Wapaton, and took their first game on the road last night. The Lady Huskies went up to West Fargo Cheyenne. And Brian, I asked you as we were setting up here for tonight, I asked you the $1 million question that everybody else has been asking you today, and probably even last night on your way home. If you were told you were going to go score 78 points against West Fargo Cheyenne, what were your thoughts? And you probably said I was crazy, but what did you reply to everybody that asked you that question?
Well, I mean, if I had $1 for every time I got asked that, I'd be a rich man right now. I don't know. I mean, you know, if you had told me that we're going to score 78 points and some of the other stat lines that we had, only turned the ball over 15 times, we're going to shoot 41% from the floor, we're going to shoot 47% from behind the three-point line, I'd tell you that we're going to win the game by 15 points, you know, at least 15 points. But there are some other elements to the game that we just kind of didn't execute in some other areas. I mean, like I said, if you go down the stat line, we shot the ball really well for us. I mean, we've struggled. We've struggled, and we've been down around that 30% mark and down 25%, in games, and to shoot 47% from behind the 3-point line, it's just be a nice weapon to have. If we can do that every single night, I would be happy with that. But we gave up too many second chance opportunities to a team that has some size. We don't have a lot of size. In their program, they're 6'2", 6 foot or whatever, and we gave them some extra possessions and some extra opportunities to score, and you have 16 offensive rebounds that we give up, and they get 19 points out of that. That stat line alone is the game. When you only lose by 2 at the buzzer, that accounts for a lot of it.
Let's talk about the game itself a little bit, and we'll go back to stats here in a little bit too as well. Just talk about the game so folks know it was an 80-78 loss for the Lady Huskies on a last-second shot, like you talked. But I was getting text messages during the boys' games last night from Joel and Roseanne Lisney, faithful viewers on Three Border Sports, and they were keeping an eye on you guys as well as watching the boys last night. But Joel was sending me messages and updated me from time to time. I think you were within like 5 points with about 5.5 minutes to go. I think you were actually trailing at the point in time, weren't you?
At that point, I think we were trailing. We were ahead 6 with a minute and a half to go, and that's another killer right there. We're ahead 6, a minute to go. But throughout the game, we just kind of kept pace. Early in the game, it was kind of back and forth a little bit. We would go up a couple points, and then they would go up a couple points. There were a couple stretches there throughout the game where they were up double digits, and we did a really good job of coming back. We changed defenses several times, and we got some things out of it. We got some turnovers, and we just our shooting just really helped us out. The 3-point line just got us back in the game whenever we got behind by a number of points, and we just had big shots from Ayanna Allard played really well last night. There were some shots in the second half that she hit. We needed a bucket. We needed a 3, either to get back in the game or to take a lead and kind of extend our lead a little bit. We got a big 3 from Amaya Max in the second half. And we just got good all-around play from everybody who played in the game. I think everyone who played scored. Scott Woods had a great stat line, double-digit points, and then she had led us in tied for lead in rebounds, had 5 assists. McKenna Kumo was in double digits. I think 13 points for her, 10 or 13 points for her, 6 rebounds again. And let's see. I think, and Emma Bonches, 10 points, double digits, just played well. And we just got good play from everybody who was in there throughout the course of the game. And
just a great effort here, and congratulations to you and the Lady Huskies. Again, a tough loss, but some of the fans that I've talked to today have said he's still got to be happy about it, even though it's a loss. There's still got to be a bright side to the whole picture. I mean, it's still got to be a good effort for the girls.
Well, here's the thing, Joe, and I think Coach Earlson touched on it, and it really, ever since I've been here, it really does kind of stick with me. And the girls who played for me early on really, really, really took this to heart. And there are a lot of teams that have come into Wahpeton over the past, and it varies from sports, but certainly in girls basketball, and they just expect to win. They come in here, they laugh, they have a good time. We're gonna go down there, we're gonna win by 50 or whatever. And my goal is to have those days be gone. And the first group of girls that I had, they played with a chip on their shoulder, and I think we have to play that type of style of basketball where, no, we are not going to let you just come in here and win the game. If you're going to win, you're going to have to fight to beat us. And that's got to be our mantra, and we've got to play that way and just kind of play with that chip on your shoulder. It's just something that it earns you the respect that Coach Earlson was talking about. You want teams to come down here, or you want them to say before they even get down here, look, we are going to have to go down there and play a really good basketball game if we want to win.
Right. That's not a team we want to go play, but we're going to have to play 'em.
You want teams to be afraid to play you. And I think after game one, I mean, it's only the first game. Certainly, Cheyenne found out that we're no easy out. And am I happy with the game? I'm happy with the way that we played, but I'm not satisfied with losing.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm really not. I expected to go in there and win the game. And I think for our team, I think hopefully they realize that, hey, we can win the game against anybody that we play against. Doesn't matter what the name is on the jersey. We are here to play, and we can beat you. And if you think that we can't, then you might find out something different by the time the game's over.
Did your suit coat come off?
Well, I was on the road, so I wore a sweater. So, but if I would have had a suit coat on, it might have come off at some point. There was a play towards the end of the game that sent them to the free throw line. We had a player fall down, and then they end up calling a foul. And who knows if it really was? I mean, it is what it is. You can't give the ref the opportunity to call a foul, but there's just some situations there that just kind of came up, and I think our girls handled it really well. We weren't in a lot of games last year,
right.
So it's something that's new. But we have to, it is what it is. We have to learn how to win if you want to use that one. But I think that we have something that's good. It's only game one, and hopefully we can follow that up. We can't just say, okay, we're going to play Davies now. We're going to play just as well as we did against Cheyenne. We have to forget about the Cheyenne game. We have to learn from that game, and then we have to play a totally different team. And we're going to have to fix some things that we didn't do so well, and hopefully some of the good play, the good shooting that we have, that just kind of carries over, and we'll able to compete, and maybe we can come out on top against another really good team, and a team that's picked second in the EDC preseason poll. I think they're third or fourth in state preseason poll. They've got some size to beat Shanley last night. So it's game two, and we've got to go out there and perform. And I hope the girls are ready.
And a 47% 47% three-point shooting. It's been a few years since you've been able to say that about the Lady Huskies. So that was a great shooting night for the Huskies.
Yeah, and a lot of that credit goes to Ayanna Allard. She was 5 of 10 from behind the three-point line. And again, points that came at a much-needed time. And if we can continue to get good play out of her, we've always said she's a good shooter. And if she can play with the confidence that she played with last night, we're going to get some good things out of her. One of our three seniors, and we're going to need her to play that way and just kind of lead the way, and then hopefully the girls will kind of follow behind and play with some of that confidence that she played with last night. And we got good play out of our freshmen, Latea Lunenberg and Scout Woods. Those guys started last night, and I think Scout found out that she might be able to do some things that we've been telling her that she can do. And late in that second half, she really took it to their big player, Maya Metcalf, going one-on-one. We let her just go with it, and for a stretch there, she really got the best of the junior. And there's some bright spots there, and if we can kind of build on those things and understand what we do well and when we have an advantage, I think that we can compete, and then just kind of learn down the stretch what we need to do. Being up 6 with 1:30 to go, we should win that game. But we were out of timeouts, so we didn't really get a chance to sit to talk about it. We couldn't take a timeout, stop play, and say, okay, here's what we need to do, because they weren't in the bonus yet. So we were going to get fouled. We just needed to try and get that ball in bounds, just kind of hang on to it, let them foul us, and at 5 more fouls to go, and then go to the free throw line and finish the game out. But we weren't able to do that.
Well, again, it's a learning curve for the girls, but again, a great effort for the Lady Huskies last night. And Friday night, right here on Three Borders Sports Network, we're going to have that home game as you take on Davies, as you said earlier. So.
Yeah, it's going to be a big one. I mean, I'm hoping that we get the same kind of effort and same kind of play out of the girls. And if for some reason things don't go right early, are we going to be able to kind of bounce back from that? And I think that we will. We just got to kind of play the game as it goes, play it 0-0. And see what you can do. And, I think for us, it's going to be an interesting season. It's game one, and typically you don't play your best in game one. Sometimes you play your worst in game one. And if 78 points is our worst, I guess it's pretty good. But we always say that, we want to use each game, learn from it, and we use the season to get ready for the playoffs, and hopefully at the end of the season we're playing our best basketball. And so far we're off to a pretty good start, even though it is a loss.
And play on Saturday in EDC.
When we play on Saturday EDC tournament, we want to win a state tournament, but you can't win a state tournament if you're not in an EDC tournament. So, all of our focus is on trying to get into that tournament, and then we can worry about the things after that come.
All right, Coach, anything else you want to add about the game?
No, I mean, just that it was just an all-around good effort, and it's nice to see us kind of stay with it. When they stretched their lead out, we're able to come back, and it's just I think we did learn a lot last season, because we do have a majority of our players back. We had 3 seniors last year, and we've grown. And all of our players have worked hard over the summer, and I feel like they've gotten better, and they're going to continue to get better here with each and every game.
All right, Coach Watson of the Lady Huskies falling last night to the Cheyenne Mustangs 80-78 in the last second shot, and good effort here by the Lady Huskies, and congratulations to them, and just keep up the good work, ladies, and we'll see you Friday night right here on Three Borders Sports Network. All right, folks, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with Brian Watson, and we'll wrap this up here from the Red River Communications Studios right after this.
Since 1996, Giants have been a go-to snack for quality. Giants works directly with farmers to ensure you're receiving the best Giant seeds in every bag. From planting to harvest, they ensure the quality and attention sunflowers deserve to deliver the best taste possible. Giants cashews and pistachios continue our tradition of making the finest nut available. They're a fan favorite. Whether you're in the mood for dill pickle, sour cream and onion, or bacon ranch, we have the flavors to satisfy your cravings. Giant Snacks, where quality still matters. That's the Giants difference.
Did you know that we serve nearly 1,500 square miles across North Dakota and Minnesota? Or that we've been around for over 60 years? How about that we've got 3,000 miles of fiber optics powering one of the best networks in the region? The best part? We're a cooperative. That means we're continually reinvesting in our communities to make them better than ever. We are Red River Communications. We've been recognized as a leader for helping our communities be great places to live and work. To find out how we're helping connect our communities, visit redrivercom.com/connecting.
All right, welcome back to the Giants Coaches Show right here on Three Borders Sports Network. We are powered by Red River Communications. And if you're watching on Red River Communications, it's channel 125. We've got our own dedicated channel, and you'll see a lot of our events broadcast on channel 125 as well, including tomorrow night, Brian. We got the Cowgirls basketball team taking on the Holly Nuggets. A little revenge factor, a little bit there that we talked about, Coach, on MDEC.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a good one for them. Again, they're going to try and play with a chip on their shoulder. Holly knocked them on the playoffs last year, and then volleyball-wise, they took their perfect season away from them. Yeah. So I think the Cowgirls are going to be ready to play. It's going to be a good matchup, 1A school against a 2A school, big rivalry game, and I think both teams will be ready to play tomorrow night.
All right, and then Friday night we got the Lady Huskies taking on the Davies Eagles. We just talked about that a few seconds ago here. Again, we'll have that on Three Borders Sports Network. And busy week here, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Yeah, I'm hoping we can continue to be a problem for Davies. There's been years where we've been able to steal one from them when it's not expected, and they've been highly rated and things like that. So, maybe it's one of those teams where we just kind of have their number, and hopefully we can pull that off again here on Friday.
All right, Coach, I want to mention, too, that we did ask Coach Lipp to attend tonight, and Coach Stephen Lipp of the Cowboys basketball team had prior commitment tonight. He was unable to attend, and I did ask Coach Patty Moses of the BW gymnastics team. She had prior commitments as well and could not attend, and she said she's going to try and get with us after the first of the year.
It'd be nice to get some gymnastics in here and kind of promote their program and see what it's all about. So, yeah, it'd be great.
Yeah, so we had Coach Ralph on earlier. We had Coach, new first-year coach, Coach Wertzema of the BW Blades boys. We had Coach Emdeck. We had Coach Broadland of the BW Blades girls hockey team. We learned tonight it was the Blades as well. They're not the Storm.
Yeah, they did not adopt the Storm name, even though they're a new co-op. But hockey is going to stay Blades. Across the board.
Earlson of the wrestling team, and then Coach Watson. So we had a busy night here at Three Borders.
A very busy night.
All right, buddy, you got anything else?
No, it's been a good show here, and hopefully continue. Like I said, get the coaches to come in, promote their program. That's what we're here for. And got 2 games coming up this week, so tomorrow night.
I think you're going to take tomorrow night off, and then I'll see you Friday at the Davies game. Maybe we'll get you up for a pregame chat.
I might be busy, but I might try and find time for you. How about that?
How about that? All right, for Brian Watson, I'm Joe Schreiner. Good night, everybody, and if we will wish you a happy holiday season here as this comes up. Everybody be safe. Good night, everybody.